Belinda Lawrence, and the topic of my story is going to be a small world, I'm going to call it. The story begins, my husband and I had been traveling in Europe, and it was my first time in Europe, and we were visiting his family for the very first time, and we were going to Germany and Austria, and we decided to take a little side trip, and we decided going to a city that he'd never been to, and we decided on Prague. And this was back in 1995, so Prague was technically not part of the European Union at this point. And so we were going by train, and it was like, I believe it was 8 or 10 hours long. We prepared, we brought books with us and little snacks and crossword puzzle books. And we sat in the train, and it was pretty much just us and another group of people on this one particular car. And as we approached the border, the train had stopped, and they let on some border guards from the Czech Republic. And we'd showed our passports, no problems, and then they approached this other group of people in our car, and we knew they were Americans, and I kind of wanted to stay away from Americans at this point. And so we kind of ignored them until all of a sudden we heard some murmurings and some questioning going on. And the Czech border guards at that point were not too, I mean, they knew some English, but we could tell there was problems because they were talking about tux rentals. And it was just very confusing, and so I nudged my husband. I said, why don't you go help them out? So he got up and he started talking to them in German. And from what we were making out is that this group of Americans were traveling in Europe, and they had toured Germany, and they were heading to the Czech Republic to go to a wedding of some family members. And they had some rented tuxes with them. And they were trying to let the border guards know that they were rented as opposed to being purchased, because if they were purchased, then the Czech border guards wanted to collect some duty on them. And so they were really upset because they didn't want to pay duty on these very expensive tuxedos that they just rented. So my husband explained it to the check guards in German, and it turned out for the best. Everybody was happy, and my husband was about to sit back down with me, and he decided, oh, well, I just want to find out about where these Americans are from and what the story is. So he talked to them, and he says, oh, well, it's really cool you're going to this wedding. We're going to Prague too, and it's just really nice. And he asked them, well, where are you from? And they said, we're from Wisconsin, and that's where I'm from too. So all of a sudden, I'm in-depth reading this book, not really paying attention, but kind of paying attention, and my ears pricked up when I heard Wisconsin. I thought, well, that's interesting. Maybe I should listen a little bit more. So I did, and I found out they were from Racine. Which is my home city. And I was so shocked, I just jumped up in the car and I said, where are you from? And they said, well, we're from Racine. I said, oh my gosh, I am from Racine too. And Racine is pretty tiny. It's not like a big city like Milwaukee or Chicago or anything. So that was why. Was why it was just so quirky. So we sat down and we talked. Then we went to the dining car and we had coffee. And I found out that not only were they from Racine, but they had also attended the same small private school that I attended too. And not only that, but they knew some people that I had known that went to this school too. So we just thought that was just so funny and so small world, and that was one of those amazing things that happened in my travels.